All right, everyone. Good evening. My name is Richard Lewis Brown. Today is October the 26th, 2022. I'm excited to be here this evening. Hopefully you've had a great day. You're having a great week here in the state of California. As you know, I was the duly elected president of Local 1000 in May of 2021. As you also know, I've been battling my union. They're trying to kick me out of the union because of a number of reasons, and we'll touch on them tonight. But, I've been asked this many times, what is the major reason why they're trying to remove you? Is it really a racial reason, or is it a political reason? I have tried to articulate this several times. It's a mixture of both. I will try to take my time tonight and tell you all over again. If you want to reach out to me, my phone number is 408-207-2339. As you know, at 6:30, I'll start the Zoom. Right now, I'm going live on Facebook. And many people thought that the former president would never lose the election, that she could never lose, because the way the election is set up, it really favors the incumbent. And the reason why they do it like that is they want to maintain the status quo. And Local 1000, the status quo is this: continue to spend our money, our dues, paying money on politics, on politicians. While they continue the status quo, which they're doing right now, of spending money on politicians, you continue to see contracts that don't give you any respect or any dignity in the workplace. I have said this to you over and over and over again. When you elected me as your president, all of that was coming to an end. And you and I see some people that I know. You and I both know that that's the absolute truth. Even the enemies who don't like me know that if I was currently still in that building, the Local 1000 headquarters building, still with my presidential powers, all this political spending that you see would not be happening because it violates my 10-point platform. Which raises the question, why do we continue to keep doing the same stupid things over and over and over again? Well, wait for it, because I've never used this evening. Hi, Elizabeth. And to Jennifer as well. I've never said this before on video. I've often said that some of us suffer from Stockholm Syndrome. Hi, Scott. That means you start to sympathize and empathize with the kidnapper. But who's the kidnapper? The state of California, the politicians. They've kidnapped our minds. Not all of us, but collectively, they've kidnapped our minds. And we keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, but yet expect a different result. It's so bad, this kidnapping, the Stockholm Syndrome. Someone was talking to me the other day, and they said something to me in a very humorous fashion. And I said, Isaac, that's not so funny, because I'm going to use that term. We at Local 1000 and many represent employees for the state of California, we're suffering from a concussion. That's what we're suffering from. And so after this video is over this evening, I'll put up my comments and then I'll, make sure I share this video. Everyone who wants to reach out to me, 408-207-2339. It's unfortunate how we are suffering from this concussion through the Stockholm Syndrome. Let me read to you something here before 6:30. I said on October 15th, 2022, speaking to a state representative employee, a dues-paying member, that DLC 744 President Billy Hall, had called me nigger. And then he sends out an email just to the board, and I'll read it to you here. A message from SEIU Local 1000 to the board of directors. It doesn't send out to everyone else. Local 1000 does not send out an email to everybody. It's just sent to the board. And it says here, SEIU Local 1000, its current leadership team stands against racism, including racist remarks but also those who use false or dishonest accusations of racism to seek attention or personal gain. All right? Our union is in no way associated with the disgusting attempt to use sham claims of past racist remarks that were made on the governor's Twitter feed and other public videos. Local 1000 is disheartened that such sickening allegations will be completely fabricated and contrived solely to create divisions and incite anger. Chair William Hall categorically denies ever making racist remarks alleged against him and rejects the use of such false claims. That's what they sent to the board of directors. That's an absolute lie. He did make the racist remark towards me. Okay? I want y'all to think about something here. When have I lied to you? Versus when has Local 1000 lied to you? They're already lying to you about suspending me. Because I had, quote, suspended the duties of 3 vice presidents before they retaliated and suspended me. They have lied to you and said that politics matters, but if politics mattered that much, then why did you lose 2 days of pay for fiscal year 2021? And then they turned around and gave this man, Gavin Newsom, another $1 million to fight his recall through the SIU State Council on June 2nd, 2021. They tell you that politics matters, but if it matters so much, where's your essential worker premium pay? If politics mattered so much, well then, why don't they respect the voice of your vote? Because voting is political in a sense. So they tell you what they want you to know, and then they lie to you on everything else. So if they tell you what they want you to know, what else are they, quote, hiding from you? But yet they say that, quote, they've never done anything wrong. That's a lie. Someone said, where's your proof that he called you a nigger? Why would I just make that up? Now, I have the proof when they told me to suck a dick and eat a dick. I have that proof. I have the proof when they had me holding a gun in a racist cartoon caricature. I have that. I have it where they had me with a big smiley face with white lips and I'm smiling so much. So I have all this verifiable proof, but it's still not enough. All right. And then they say that they remain laser focused on contract campaign. These people are lying to you. They're lying and they're continuing the lies that's been told to you years ago. Remember when they told you that only coat money is used on politics? That's a lie. Some of your dues is used on politics. And they, quote, lie to you over and over and over again. That's why they had the Janus decision June 27, 2018. Because the Supreme Court knows that when you pay money to a public sector union, they're going to use some of your money on politics. And that's why they said you can no longer automatically deduct people's money just because you have the exclusive representative powers to do that. Because you control their working conditions and wages. So they said you can no longer use anyone's money unless they, quote, opt in to pay you money. Because you're using these non-members' money on politics. But yet they tell you at Local 1000 that they don't use your money on politics. That is an absolute lie. That's why I have sent out emails and I told people, ask for the dues dollar breakdown and it tells you where they're spending your money at. Just for the fact that we spend $688,000 a month to carry the SEIU, Service Employees International Union, just to carry their name. That's political. That's using your money on politics. They are constantly involved in politics because they're a political organization, a social justice organization for the Democratic Party. DLC 744 President William Hall, Billy Hall, did call me a nigger. That's the truth. You should tell all your co-workers that when they send out emails with this man's name on it, what they're doing, people who listen to this man is supporting a racist. That's what they're doing. Well, Richard, why didn't you tell us this a long time ago? Because I tried to hold it in for as long as I possibly could. Remember the LA City Council, those 4 Latinos talking in racial terms about black folks? They got that on video. How much more evidence can I give to you to tell you that even in the great state of California, you have racial problems in this state? Is it as bad as my home state of Missouri? No. You see that made me smile. No. No. Look up Missouri's racial history. The last state to enter the Union as a, quote, slave state. The Great Missouri Compromise. The Dred C. Scott case. Look that up. Okay? You know, if you want to look up my uncle that was lynched, Erastus Brown, July 10th, 1897. I'll say it for you again. Erastus Brown, relative of my family, goes back up in my tree. He was lynched on July 10th, 1897. So we've had problems in the state of Missouri. But California has some racial problems as well. Maybe not as horrendous. All right. Now, let me move on here about, quote, DLC 744 President William Hall, who claims that he's the chair in an illegal position created by Local 1000. He says that he did not call me a nigger. Okay. But now he can't do any more calls until sometime at the end of January. So from October the 19th, that was the last time he did a call, straight talk. He's just talking to you straight. That's a lie. He doesn't listen to you. He doesn't represent you. Remember, he ran unopposed. He didn't get that one vote in his DLC. But he's no longer doing talks on Wednesday night. Not that they gave you any information anyway. But he's stopping on October 19th. He won't start back up again until I think January the 23rd, 2023 or something like that. So 267 days will go by. You won't hear any more talking from this man. Because, why? Because I've called him out and I've told the truth on him. He called me a nigger. That's what it is. And now he doesn't want to talk anymore on video on Wednesday night. Now he claims that because some people went on his video, on his straight talk video, and they were doing porno or doing something crazy like that, you know, he's trying to clear the air. No, you're running from the fact that you called me a nigger. And now you're trying to run me off the board of directors. Wait till we go back to court, Mr. Hall. They said, well, it's just an allegation. Really? Okay. But all this other stuff, the one thing I don't have proof of, you're going to say, well, you know, Richard, you're not telling the truth on this, but all this other stuff, you have the truth. So we'll believe that because you can verify it. Okay. Here's what I'm going to tell everyone. I've never lied to you. When I told you I wouldn't take a salary stipend, you knew I wasn't from the state of California. You knew I had to be from some of those southern hick state down south. You knew that. When I told you I was going to fight to keep you from being vaccinated, you knew I was telling you the truth. I have never lied to you on anything. But yet, these people are lying to you left and right. Why would you expect them to tell you the truth now? Did I get an apology from Teresa Taylor and her daughter? Did they go on video and give me an apology for telling me to suck a dick and eat a dick? They did not. They meant what they said, but they said they represented all of DLC 786, the franchise tax board. Did Billy or anybody on that board reprimand them? Did they get HR1s filed on them by somebody on the board? They did not, because the board overall was complicit in the racism. You say, well, how is telling somebody to suck a dick racial? Has Teresa Taylor ever told a white man to suck a dick? See, she used her white privilege to tell me to suck a dick. You say, well, how does that relate to us getting a good contract? If you allow your president to be disrespected by people within the union in a leadership position, then you don't have a union, you don't have a president. And that's why they're trying to remove me out of this position. If you're not telling your coworkers, we got to put an end to this. Remember, I was fighting for you. And that does not mean I'm fighting for black people. I was fighting for white people. I wasn't leading a Black Lives Matter rally, that political movement. If I had been leading that movement, there would be no question about the money. I can tell you that. Okay? I'm fighting for white people. You said, well, Richard, why are you making a racial thing? Because white people put me in this position. Not blacks, not Latinos, not Asians, not those from Asia and Africa or Europe who've immigrated to America. It was white people. So let's call it for what it is. And all these so-called Facebook warriors who get on Facebook and want to do all this talking against me, you know what? Come on my video. Come on my video and get at me. But you don't and you won't because you don't have the courage of your convictions and because you're a liar through everything you say. I mean that. And I say that with love and respect. If anybody's trying to get a hold of me and I haven't reached out to you, you can easily come on my video on Wednesday night and say, hey, I've been trying to call you. You won't call me back. And then let's talk in front of everyone. Because I want someone to call me out in front of everyone. Because trust me, I'm not looking for confrontation, but I don't walk away from it. I don't want to fight with love and respect, but I'm not running from it either. See, so many people in our union, when you see the fire, and the fire is within the union, we're burning down, we've been burning down for years. When you see the fire, you run away from the fire. You cancel your membership because you don't want to get burnt up. All right. Sometimes when you run away from the fire, what you're doing is there's a fire on the street in somebody's house, but you want to run and save you and your own. You don't want to get involved. And the fire ends up knocking down the whole street, burns up your house with your family as well. We're supposed to all be in this together, but we're not. And when you see people giving up on this union, I understand why you want to give up. But what I don't understand is when you had the right person in the position of leadership and power, you gave up then. When we fought so hard, this is how I said this. Yeah, I spent all my money on this union, all these years from 2012 up to now. But without your vote, I wouldn't be here. So together we got here. And some of you didn't even vote for me, but you're standing by my side right now. And I praise God through Jesus Christ for you doing that. These people are lying to you left and right. They don't want to give you straight talk videos anymore because it was straight garbage. Someone said no one was coming to their video, so that's why they stopped it. What Mr. Hall is doing, he's running from his responsibility. He said he wanted to be the chair. He said he wanted to talk to you and fight for you. But now, when it's time for him to do his weekly videos and take on all those questions, whether they're supporters or non-supporters, now he wants to run because I've called him out for what he is, a racist. Now he doesn't want to talk anymore. Remember, when I do my videos on Wednesday night, anybody, including Mr. Hall, the 3 statewide VPs, Annika, David, or Irene, anybody on the board, anybody who's got the courage of their convictions can come on Facebook or come on my Zoom and get at me. I don't run. So, and here it is where it says, Local 1000 Leadership Call will be on temporary hiatus until January 2023. So you look at the last Wednesday in January, I think it's the 23rd or something like that. But he had already gone on hiatus when he was trying to travel to the work sites. Remember, when I traveled to the work sites, I put the video up. So you know exactly what I'm telling people. They travel to work sites and they're slandering me and defaming me and lying and lying and lying. That's what they're doing. They don't tell you what they're saying at those work sites. It's going to be fun tonight. Now look. The HR 1 is not over with yet. It's going to be over with here, I guess, in a couple weeks. Hopefully everyone's emailing your DLC president. Call 866-471-7348 and demand that they put me back in my position with my presidential powers. Demand that when they have a special board meeting, because they're going to have one, about voting to kick me out of the union, demand that it goes live to hold this board responsible for violating the voting of our membership. If you don't like a leader in this country, you recall the leader. You just don't, quote, make up some meritless allegations and then try to run him out of office off that. That is hogwash. And just because they got this independent arbitrator, the board voted on getting an independent arbitrator or something like that, because we don't know, because the video is not up for us to review. All of my videos are up to review. All right? Let me say it for you again. This is a sham what they're trying to do of running me out of office. We don't give up. Remember the title of tonight's video, Concussion Protocol, because many of you are suffering from the Stockholm Syndrome. Many of you have given up and quit on the union. When do I go back to court? I don't know. There is no court date. If you go to the Sacramento Superior Court website, Department 27, look up my name, Richard Lewis Brown, you'll see all the correspondence. And you'll see where the attorney that our money paid for, quote, Mr. Hall to sue me and the union, that attorney is claiming that he's sick and that Mr. Hall needs more time to find a new attorney. It's all there. I'm not telling you nothing confidential. It's all public record. So there is no court date yet. But I can guarantee you this. The minute they have a special board meeting after this HR1 hearing is over here in a couple weeks, I can guarantee you once they're, quote, do their vote, and it appears that they have the vote to kick me out, they'll rush to go back to court and say, we kicked them out of our union, so now we're going to kick them off the board of directors. But this fight's not over with yet. For many of you, it's over. You've given up. You've walked away from me. That's fine, because I know how I got started. Wait, can we send a letter to the judge? I mean, first of all, I don't agree with all the lawyers. You can. Judge Gervisher, send them a letter. It's all up on the Department 27 website. But don't send just one letter. Get all your co-workers to send letters to the judge. This is a travesty of injustice. A travesty. I can't make this up. He's taken a hiatus to January of 2023. Last Straight Talk video he had was October 19th. Why? Because I have now told you the truth about this racist called William Hall. He called me a nigger. You said, well, don't say that word. That makes me feel uncomfortable. You know what? If me saying that he called me a nigger makes you feel uncomfortable, well, how do you think I feel? And I'm not here to make you white people feel comfortable in this country. But I'm also not here to, quote, make you feel guilty about being white. You should be proud to be white. And you should hold other white people, when they act up in a racial manner, hold them responsible. I've never called you a nigger or a nigga. Because I know some of you are so politically savvy these days, you know. Did Billy call you a nigga? No, he called me a nigger with a hard ER sound. If you want to know. Okay. What else here? Oh, so someone said that, Richard, your membership dues declaration letter, you have it dated November 12, 2020, that, you know, you need to update your dates and all that. This membership dues declaration letter was just a template. Because no one has ever told you, other than myself, that you can be a full dues paying member of Local 1000 and not have any of your money used on politics. When have the 3 statewide VPs told you that? They never will. And so it's a template. You can put your own date in. I told you my reasoning. You can put your personal information in to tailor it to you. And then you'll need to sign it. And I put in here where the membership department had responded back to me. That was in February of 21. It took them all that time to respond back to me. Now, what I have tried to do is help people. I didn't get involved in this union to, quote, help myself. Everyone says, Richard, what do you get out of this? I don't get anything out of this. I did not get involved with this union to go on union leave or to get money or to make myself famous. I got involved to get you a substantial pay increase for a period of time, along with dignity in the workplace, absent of management abuse. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. I have held to my word. I have fulfilled my promises. I created job stewards on day one. I walked into the office. Up to February 23rd, 2022, I was doing, quote, creating a job steward per day. Every day a job steward was created. And yes, they were getting their expedited training if you could get Annika to do her job. They were getting the training in the expedited fashion because we need people to be job stewards. We need everyone represented by Local 1000 to be a job steward. Everyone. And when people want to pay their money, because you have to pay money to be a job steward and to vote, when people want to pay you their money and you're going to drag your feet about making them job stewards because you're playing political games, because let me tell you what Annika Walls was doing. If a person wanted to be a job steward and they were supporting my 10-point platform, she would drag her feet because she didn't want them to be a job steward. But anybody that she could manipulate that was, quote, supporting her, she would make them a job steward as quickly as possible. That's the game Annika Walls runs. That's why she doesn't answer her emails. She only answers emails to people who support her. And even those, she flakes on them until she needs them. Remember, when I told you that Billy called me a nigger and he said that wasn't true, I have it up on my website, createexcellence7437.com. He told you he didn't approve of them going to Norway. Yes, he did. Him and David Jimenez, Secretary Treasurer David Jimenez, they're both lying, trying to cover their tracks. I put the whole thing up, the Norway trip scandal. So you can read through all the information along with the email they put out. He's lying through his teeth. This man ran unopposed in every election he's been in. DLC 744 does not like him. If I'm wrong, then why doesn't he invite me to his work site so we can sit down with the people he represents so he can tell them why he, quote, is trying to remove me from the board of directors? Thank you, Jennifer Ford, for putting that address up. SIU Local 1000, Membership Department, 1808 14th Street, Sacramento, California, 95811. I don't know what the whole conversation is, but that is the address. So I'm asking people to not give up. That special board meeting where they're going to vote on my future as your Local 1000 president, you need to contact the MRC, 866-471-7348. Demand that that meeting's held out in the open. You need to contact your DLC president. Call 866-471-7348. They'll give you that email address. Or you can go to the SIU1000.org website. Look inside your DLC. Click on it. Because all that information is up there. Because remember, the website is opened up. Because I believe in transparency. See, they're telling you that this HO1 process is closed down because of me. That's an absolute lie. I did have an attorney. That attorney wanted it closed. I disagreed with my attorney, but I tried not to, quote, argue with my attorney. Once I lost my attorney for my HR1, I demanded that HR1 process be opened up so you will know exactly what I'm saying to defend myself. You can know exactly what Annika Walls is saying about this whole, quote, meritless allegations she's made against me, her and Michael Gus. But the arbitrator, Homer LaRue, refused to open it up. And he's a black man. So when you say, hey, Richard, don't be so hard on us white people about Billy calling you a nigger, well, hold on a second. There are black folks, quote, who are sent on a special mission to, quote, hinder and slow down and destroy other black people. It wasn't just on the plantation. It wasn't just with Malcolm X. Sometimes when you find someone that's fighting for people and you can't bend them or twist them or manipulate them, then you'll send someone that's close to him or her or someone that looks like him or her to destroy them. That's what has happened. Now look, there's another HR1 hearing coming up. I'm doing the best I can. To everyone I reached out to on my HR1 hearing, please reach back to me. I need your support. Again, you got to call 866-471-7348 and demand that special board meeting when they decide the future of the president of Local 1000, have it opened up. So you can hold these people accountable for what they're doing. They're trying to silence your voice. So like I said tonight, concussion protocol. I know some of you have walked away from the union. I don't want you to walk away. I want you to come back. I respect your decision as an American when it comes to your money. I respect that decision. May not agree with it, but I respect it. All right. So at 6:30, So here, let me start the Zoom here at 6:30 and I'll start all over again. So here we go. All right, here we go. Good evening, everyone. My name is Richard Lewis Brown. Today is October the 26th, 2022. As you know, I was your duly elected president, Local 1000, in May of 2021. They're trying to remove me from office. Tonight's video is about concussion protocol because we're suffering. Some of us are suffering from the Stockholm Syndrome. Let me restate what I have said. This person who claims he's the chair, the illegal chair position, William Hall of DLC 744, the president, claims that he didn't call me a nigger. That's an absolute lie. I've never lied to you on nothing I have told you. Why would I start lying to you now? I didn't take the salary stipend. Did not lie to you. Told you I'd create job stewards on day one. Did that. Told you I'd be open and transparent. Did that. He's saying he didn't call me a nigger. That's a lie. Now he won't do videos until sometime at the end of January. The last day in January, I think, on a Wednesday night is the 23rd, I think, for 2023. So now he doesn't want to do videos anymore. Sends out a message to the board of directors saying that Local 1000 stands against racism. But yet, he never held Teresa Taylor and her daughter, Anna Marie Taylor, responsible for their racist, sexist, homophobic remarks about telling me to suck or eat a dick. Never did. Nobody on the board did either. All right. Oh, and I talked about the membership dues declaration letter. No one's ever told you this. You can be a full dues paying member of Local 1000 and not have any of your money used on politics. Go to my website, createexcellence7437.com. Look under the membership dues declaration letter tab. It's there. Tailor it to fit you. It's just a template. So you'll change the date, you'll put your information in, and then you'll sign it. And you'll send it off to Local 1000. You can call 866-471-7348. Let them tell you how to get the membership dues declaration letter to them. Let me bring up something else that came up. I guess Richard Wake on Facebook said that how much longer are we going to let Richard Lewis Brown get away with false assertions of racism? Now, he's the same guy that's called me a coward and a chicken, a.k.a. a nigger. That's what that means. See, when people call me certain things, I know what you really want to call me. All right. So then he says the other day he called my girlfriend a mail order bride. I never called his girlfriend a mail order bride. He's confused. But they have lied to you about me on everything I've tried to do to help this union. And you've seen him attack me on video. And I have the text messages on Richard Wake. All right. Moving on. Let's get to the new contract. They've been telling you since they, quote, suspended me with a retaliatory suspension that they're working around the clock to build membership. That's a lie. If you want to build membership, you would first respect membership when they vote on your leaders. They don't respect the voice of the voters. So how can you build membership when you're trying to remove the president the voters voted for? How are you doing that? You're not. You're lying. Second thing, they said they're trying to build membership. No, what they're trying to do is continue the status quo of supporting Gavin Newsom, the same person that took 2 days of pay from you for a whole fiscal year and wanted to take 2 days for the next fiscal year. And he's closing down jobs, CCC, in Alaskan County. And then he turns around and says, I need your help. You know, you don't need my help. You don't need my help. You cannot take my money while under a signed contract and then expect me to vote for you the next year. I am not stupid. Now, there are some people in this union who I believe are not playing with a full deck, or they have a vested interest on why they want to help this man get reelected. I don't know, but I told you this. I was told to not go up to Alaskan County because those were white people who were racist. I was told that, but I never have said it openly like this. They said, don't go up there, they don't like you, Richard. Well, the white people, because they're 99% white up in Alaskan County, gave me more love, more respect, and more home-cooked meals, them and their relatives, than this union has given me since 2012 when I became an activist. Those same people who to this day still give me the utmost respect, and I give it back to them, Gavin Newsom wants to shut those jobs down, close that prison up there. For what reason? He doesn't have a reason. He's just mad because Lansing County is a Republican county. So what? I thought in this country you could be a Republican, a Democrat, or any party you choose to be part of or not choose to be part of. Same for freedom of religion. But because they don't like him and they were doing a vote to recall him, their legal constitutional right, now he has a problem. And now he shuts down the prison inmate firefighter program, the #1 in the country. So when all those fires up there were going out of control, he runs his... Let me slow down for a second. Let me slow down. Woosah. He runs himself up there to act like he's helping these people when he's the one that's causing the problem to begin with. Let me show you something. If he'll do white people like that, then I am not surprised that he would not give Juneteenth as a paid state holiday in the state of California, this liberal state, this blue state. Well, I can't tell how blue you are. If he'll do his own people who look like him, that come from Europe like him, if he'll shut their jobs down, then I know deep in my heart he doesn't respect black people either. Because he doesn't respect himself. Crime's not going down. And even if crime was going down, why would you want to shut the prison down? People's lives are at stake. Do you care? Do you have a heart? The answer is, through your actions, Gavin Newsom, you don't give a damn about nobody, not even your current wife and children. I don't believe it. Look at his life. And then someone will say, well, Richard, look at your life, look at your past. You ain't no better. I never said I was a saint. I said I'm here to get you paid money for a certain period of time with respect in the workplace. That's what I told you I came here to do. Nothing more and nothing less. And that's what I was doing. Gavin Newsom doesn't care about you. If you want to vote for Gavin Newsom, that's your right. If you ask me my personal opinion, why would you vote for somebody that took from you? Are you that silly? If he took 2 days from you and he wanted to take it for 2 straight fiscal years, if he took from you once, he'll take from you again. Oh, by the way, someone sent me a text. I guess CCPOA, that's another union that represents state employees. They represent the correctional officers, peace officers in the prisons up and down the state, that they bought a $2.3 million home in Elk Grove, and that the president of the union stays at the house and then some other person stays there. Their membership didn't know. Not surprised. Now remember when Local 1000 was giving me a hard time because we decided, this is how I say this, we decided, it wasn't me in part of that decision, we decided to pay off the $6 million of debt we had owed on those buildings. We are debt free in Local 1000. So when they make all these claims of financial malfeasance, spending money inappropriately, that's a lie. When we sent out those flyers about the other 2 candidates running for council, I never told you to vote for those 2 people. I said, here's more information. You make your decision. These people have lied and lied and lied. Now, let's get to this real quick. It's 6:39. Why did I just quit and give up? Did I quit and give up when I was running for office in 2015? Did not. 2018? Did not. 2021? Did not. Those people who voted for me, did they quit and give up on me? They voted for me and they said, get the job done, Richard. We trust you. Listen to how I say this. We trust you. My voters are not activist voters. They're like, Richard, we voted for you. Here's the policy file. Here's the bylaws. You have the powers. We know you'll do the right thing. And I have. They tell you that I've abused staff. That's a lie. I haven't abused staff. I tried to hold staff accountable. Many of you was in my ass because I was letting staff run amok. You know who you are. I don't have to say names. And you were right. 1,000%. Staff was running amok. We try to make staff accountable for their actions. They fought back. UAW 2350. They fought back. But now they're complaining that Billy Hall called them lazy. I never called staff lazy. They were, quote, wanting to sit down and talk to him. But I have open door policy. Everybody can come and talk to me anytime they want. We don't give up in this country. I've said this over and over and over again. Reach out to me, 408-207-2339. Now, people say that sometimes I say the same thing over and over and over again on my videos. Yes, I'm consistent. I'm reliable. I'm accountable. I speak the truth, so it's not hard for me to say it over and over again. Obviously, I haven't said it enough. They're telling you they're trying to build membership. How are they building membership when you're trying to run the president that was elected by membership out of office? Because he beat the incumbent. How are you trying to build membership about getting them excited about the next contract when you won't even tell membership what you will not accept in the next contract? You don't tell membership nothing. All right, I see a hand raised. I'm going to go to a hand raised. Anybody on Facebook that wants to come on, please come on. And we'll try to touch on some other issues here very quickly. All right. So, Derek, please, go ahead.
Good evening, Mr. President. How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing well. I don't know how good my audio is right now. It might cut in and out, but
okay.
You know, earlier I was listening on the Facebook stream and I came on here, and you were talking about like fighters, like people that are passionate about what they do. You know, there's not I don't see a whole lot of fighters out there. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do one better. I would say, I don't know, maybe about 90-95% of these people in this union have never been involved in a real fight in their lives. They don't know what a struggle's like. They don't know what it's like with the back against the wall. They just like to come on here and give you a bunch of lip service, be a bunch of keyboard warriors. I got one on my tail right now who's going on your YouTube page, and he's running his mouth about me bluffing. But we all know who he is. You know, call him Uncle Fester if you want. He's just a big racist. He's a bigot. He's talking a bunch of trash. You know, this behavior has become so unacceptable lately. I almost don't feel like we're, dealing with people anymore. I hate to say it like that. We're dealing with a bunch of people that have these, just really nasty behaviors. It's almost like I'm not involved in a labor union anymore with some of these quote-unquote so-called leaders. I feel like this is, excuse my language, this is like pornography. It's disgusting, you know? It's something that I feel is like exploiting the internal politics and the internal matters that need to be resolved internally. And I'm not saying I had enough of it, but I mean, at some point, it's time to fight back. I mean, if people are really tired of this and they want to come on here and give great ideas, go and fight back. Challenge these people. Don't be afraid of them. I'm not saying physically harm them. You know, don't take my words out of context now. But step up to the plate. You know, maybe they don't belong in those positions. I'm getting tired of these people sending me these comments on Facebook or on YouTube and trying to take away my credibility, or better yet, your credibility. You're right. We voted you in, and enough is enough. That's all I got to say.
All right. Thank you for calling in, Derek. I want to go back to what he said quickly about Frank Askin. So when I did a video on October 15th where I stated that DLC Simple 4 President William Hall, called me a nigger, he goes on my YouTube account, which is Richard Lewis Brown. He goes on there on October 19th and says, "All hail Chairman Hall." Is that enough evidence? Is that enough evidence to show you that some of the people in this union are racist? I just don't get it. Second thing I want to go to real quick. What Derek was talking about, the struggle. Some people know about struggling, some people don't. I'm not going to hold that against people here in this country. Here's what I will say. These meritless allegations, there's a couple that I want everyone on this video tonight to hear. And I want you to think back to those times that you saw me do videos and maybe you came to the building. I want you to go back and do some thinking. The allegation number 5 of Annika was that I, quote, violently took the building on March 5th, that I planned it, I coordinated it, it was all of my planning, that I abused Local 1000 staff. I want you to think back about those issues. Allegations 5, 8, and 9. Because I know what I remember, but some people may remember things and be able to reach out to me and say, hey, you know what? I remember when this happened and when that happened. Because, you know, you told me, Richard, or I saw it with my own eyes. They have run this propaganda, as I call it, this purple propaganda pathology, that March 5th was planned and coordinated. Because they want to show me as this violent man running and seizing something. Was I arrested on March 5th? No, I was not. Did the cops come down? Yes, they did. What did they say? It was a civil event, a civil disturbance. I never got arrested. Could people have come down to the building? Yes, they could have. Some people remember this day better than I do. But I want people to reach out to me if they can remember the events of that day, you know, and have it all in your head. So you can tell me in 30 seconds, you can take several minutes to explain the whole situation. Because I may have questions that I need to ask you about that day. So, you know, all this HR1 stuff, and people keep asking me when it's going to end. I don't know exactly when this is going to end, but it's going to end pretty soon, I believe. But I put up all those allegations 1 through 10 on Facebook. If anybody wants me to send it out to them again, I will. This situation that they're trying to do, I told everyone from the very beginning they were going to try to run me out of office. All of the stuff that has come out, the Norway trip, you know, that came out. They used our money to go to Norway. I don't care how they spend it. I don't care if they said we didn't spend our money on that trip. Yes, you did. Whether you spent it directly, which I believe they did, and they're being reimbursed, or you spent it indirectly. Our money goes to SIU International in DC. They give money to the quote to One Voice. All this is political stuff. And like someone said, you could have did a Zoom call and handled that information and got that information from Norway, as if Norway equates to California, because it does not. They have told you so many lies that they're fighting for you. Do you think this quote guy who calls himself the chair, Billy Hall, would have thought to keep you from being vaccinated? At least with CCPOA, they told the governor, our people are not getting vaccinated. You make us get vaccinated, we'll walk off this job. He backed down. Let me say it for you again. CCPOA told the governor, we're not making our people get vaccinated. Now listen to how this works, because I've never said this before on video. And what really so much CCPOA? It was their people telling the leaders of CCPOA, if you think I'm getting vaccinated, you got another thing coming. Now remember, those inmates don't have to get vaccinated. So the members of CCPOA told the leaders of CCPOA, we are not getting vaccinated. Okay? We are not getting vaccinated. Here, let me make sure I mute everybody. Let me make sure I mute everybody. Okay. So we are not getting vaccinated. And that's when the leaders knew they had a problem and they couldn't manipulate their people, because you can't manipulate those correctional officers. Why not? Because they work with inmates every day. They know when someone's lying. They know when someone's telling the truth. And that's why those correctional officers were running up to me when I was visiting the prisons. They were running up to me and shaking my hand and said, thank you for fighting for us, because our leadership ain't fighting for us the way you're fighting for your people in Local 1000. Newsom backed down. He said, well, we're not going to make the correctional officers get vaccinated. He backed down. It's the same thing with our union. We can easily tell this person, Gavin Newsom, because most likely he'll win re-election, 21% pay increase across the board for everyone equally, along with jail pay and COLA, and $10,000 essential worker premium pay for everyone represented by Local 1000. We can make that happen. But somehow, because of concussion protocol, you've been beat up so much, you've been robbed of your dignity so much, you've lost hope. It's human nature. I get it. We all sometimes just want to quit and just put our heads down and just walk away. I get that. But you didn't elect me to quit and walk away from the fight. I'm fighting for you. I know how I got here. I came into this situation. Remember, let me jog your memory. They didn't want to swear me in as the Local 1000 president. Remember? Miguel Cordova did an elections protest against me, and then they threw it out. And now they're trying to remove me. Remember I told you, well, actually, it was DLC 772 President Mary De La Cruz, and she was verified through DLC 705 President Michelle Roy, that Annika Walls, David Jimenez, Kevin Manager, Ruth Albert, and a few other people were already having telephone conferences about removing me from office before I was sworn in, and they was going to remove me through the HR1 process. And have it in writing. Before I was even sworn in, I got a call that week in May. They announced on May the 24th I had one. That was on a Monday, unofficial announcement, Monday or Tuesday. But that Wednesday or Thursday, I got a call. Annika is working to remove you from office before you're even sworn in. That's who she is. She's duplicitous. That's why David was so adamant about me meeting Ron Herrera. Remember Ron Herrera? He was one of the Latinos having a racial conversation about black boys, about child being a monkey. And he was so insistent that I go down and meet Ron Herrera. I think it was in October of 2021. See, when I'm saying these things are racist and people don't want to hear that, you know what? You're going to hear it because it's the truth. When I tell you that they want to continue to support politics, that's the truth. I got elected to stop political spending. They rejected that. Some of these people rejected what membership said overwhelmingly. They tell you that politics matters so much. If politics mattered so much, then why didn't this governor provide an additional paid holiday Juneteenth regarding the enslaved African? If he's such a social justice warrior, he wants to create a sanctuary state for those crossing the border illegally. And that's anti-union, by the way. He wants to create a sanctuary state for those who want to have abortions. Women control their bodies. I have no problem with that. He wants to create a sanctuary state for a teenager who wants to be transgender, and their mom and dad, who's paying for that teenager, who's responsible for that teenager's welfare, say, we don't go along with that. He wants to create a sanctuary state for that, so that kid can run here, and when mom and dad try to come here and take the kid back to whatever state they came from, they can stop it. Okay. But you want to turn around and vote for this individual who took money from you, who doesn't respect you, you have concussion. You have a concussion. We need to pull your ass out of the football game because you're just walking around. Oh, I can still throw the ball. No, you can't. You can't throw the ball. You can't tackle nobody. You have a concussion. 10-year, 5-year, 20-year, 30-year concussion that you're walking around with. And now you're sympathizing through the Stockholm Syndrome that caused the concussion with the kidnapper. But yet, they portray me as being the angry black guy. You know, confrontational, dangerous. Yeah, anybody who speaks against the status quo is a dangerous person in any country. All right. By the way, the Susanville prison closure, did leadership go up there to tell these people, we don't believe this prison should close? No. They told them, just accept it. Let me say this to you. I've said this before. If I was still in that position, not under this, quote, retaliatory suspension, we was going to get a contract where it was going to state, for the length of this contract, you cannot close down no agency, you cannot take away no jobs. Because that's what a union does. They sign a contract and they guarantee your jobs for the length of that contract with your working hours. All this foolishness about, yeah, we signed a contract, but we're going to close this agency, so we're going to just relocate your people somewhere else. That's psychological. That basically tells me that the state has all the power, and you've given the state all the power because you don't have enough respect for yourself. You can stop all of this, but you don't want to. So who's making out at Local 1000? Who's getting paid off of all these bad decisions? You know I wasn't getting paid. When I told you I was getting my shirts starched up and my pants dry clean, y'all like, oh my God, oh my God. Have you seen a credit card statement since I left office? Since they, quote, suspended me? With a retaliatory suspension? When I mean left office, I mean when I left the building. Have you seen any more credit card statements go up? You have not, and you never will. See, these are the people who tell you they're for transparency and change. Quote, Annika and David and all those MTC people. They're liars. They're liars, and they are liars, 1,000% true liars in everything they say and do. Duplicitous, deception, they'll never tell you the truth. In fact, when we were having discussions, I said, you don't have to show me anything. Whatever I charge my credit card, put it up on the next month. And let the members get at me. Because I'll do videos. I won't run from the videos. I'll tell you why I spent the money on that credit card the way I did. All right, so to everyone that still supports me, openly or quietly and privately, I want to thank you. It means a lot to me. You know, those allegations 5, 8, and 9, if anybody wants to email me and say, hey, what are those allegations about? Because I don't see it on your Facebook page, just email me. You can email my personal email. You can text me, 408, that's easier, 408-207-2339. I can send you in a text, those allegations 5, 8, and 9. You know, you can, if you want to hear about the other allegations, I'll send you all the allegations. This is a lynching, and I've said it before. This is a local lynching and a carefully crafted castration of Richard Lewis Brown. They're going to try to kick me out of this union. Or they'll say, well, you know, you can still be a dues-paying member, but we're not going to allow you to run for office again. So you'll take my money, but you won't allow me to run for office. How's that going to hold up? Because people are going to say, we want Richard back. We voted for Richard. Even if they didn't vote for me, they'll say, we believe in what Richard talks about. At least with Richard, he gives us the whole storyline. And then we can make an informed decision. These people will never, ever, when I say this, I mean this. they will never, ever tell you the truth. They never have in the past, so why would they start now? They won't, and they never will. Why? Because all they want to do is walk around and pretend that they're politicians and that they want to make decisions that are not going to improve your life, but it's going to help the state of California. They don't care about you. If they cared about you and they respected you, then they would respect the president that was duly elected. But they don't. And they never will, unfortunately. They're trying to change all these laws. They're trying to change the governing on how Local 1000 runs. And they do all these secret board meetings, these little special board meetings they're calling for that are unjustified. They're unjustified. You don't know what they're saying and what parts of the board meetings they put up for you to see. It's not really what the board meeting was about. When I did board meetings, I showed you everything. Nothing should be done in private. If they have to do this stuff in private because they're afraid of what the state might find out, why would the state even care? Because it's not like you're going to go on strike anyway. So someone that said, I've gotten a couple text messages talking about an email went out. Yes. I think email has gone out. More emails need to go out. You say, well, I didn't get no email. Well, text me, 408-207-2339. Let me say this to you. It's 7:01. If anybody has any questions, they can raise their hand. We're going to be out of here at, I'm going to try to wrap this up at 7:07. I'm going to surprise you tonight. There's going to be no long video tonight. If you think I'm about to give up, I'm not. Have I revealed my entire strategy online? I have not. But what I have revealed to you is the people who said they were for me, a lot of these people were not for me. And I knew that God was leading me. And I knew I couldn't come out with everything I needed to come out with months ago because I knew some people were sent as spies to spy on me. Do I still need money to try to find an attorney? Yeah, I do. Can I find an attorney? I've tried. I have tried. It's going to happen. I want to thank everyone for believing in me. I made a few friends, a couple. I would probably say, yeah, a couple. And that means a lot to me. And I'll never say their names openly because I'll keep people's friendship with me private. That way, because a lot of people have suffered abuse in the work site because of me. And that really hurts me. Because I'm not here to cause you no pain in the workplace. I'm here to get you paid money. And I hate that the racial element has come up, but I was born black in America, and we know the history of racism in America. We also know that when you fight the status quo in America, they will come for you. Don't be a minority fighting the status quo because you may lose your life. I don't mind dying. I really don't. But can I get you paid the money first? As long as you have that money in your pocket for a period of time and you have respect in the workplace, then I've done my job. If they walk me up out of here, God says, okay, your time's up. You can go home now. You can come home now. I can accept that. But let me get you paid this money first. All right, Yolanda Williams. Go ahead, Yolanda. Take us home. Take us home. Hello?
To say is my fault. I would like to say hello to the brothers and sisters out there as well as the people on Facebook. Everybody needs to understand that there are some things in our supposed to be in our contract that's not in our contract that employees need to know, such as reinstatements, stuff like soft rejection, or if you're on probation and you reject the job, you decide you don't want it or whatever. You know, certain things are not in our contract, people. And this is important. This is so important for our members to know, why is it that we want to look up information because it pertains to us, this is our contract, and we cannot find it? Or simply it's not there. Oh, this is not in the MOU. Oh, well, why not? It pertains to me. I'm paying my dues for you to represent me. So why is it not there? Why is things kept in secrecy against our members? Why don't members know, as they may say, well, you don't want everything to it be overwhelming. No, it's not going to be overwhelming when it's to benefit me, when I should know, because I'm the member. This book is to keep me from losing my job or being with a boss that's doing things to me that's wrong or whatever. I need to know. And all of these people, all of these members, I'm telling you, there's stuff that they are not telling you that's supposed to be in the MOU, that's supposed to help you. And Mr. Brown, is that true?
So, Yolanda Williams, what you say is true.
Okay, that's what I wanted to hear. Thank you for saying so. I'm going to finish this and just say, in this negotiation that's coming up, if anything, you guys, he's been on here talking, they're trying to get him out so he won't, be able to, run again for elections, what have you. This is so important because I'm telling you, there's stuff that's pertaining to our members that is going to benefit you, but they do not put it in the MOU. That is so important. So important. You have to have somebody on the negotiation team that's going to fight and put certain things in the contract. I've been told, because I wrote about certain things, how come this not in the contract? Oh, well, you need to call your bunk chair. Oh, okay. Send an email. Nobody gets back to me. I wonder how many other members have done that. You have a concern and you try to talk to your bunk chair, but they don't get back to you. So are they really negotiating for us if they can't even contact us back in regards to a concern that we want to be negotiated on? Mr. Brown will do that. I believe it. I'm sure that some other people believe it. But if we don't get out here and if we don't talk to other people, I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot of people that lose their jobs or get all messed up because they didn't know something that's quote unquote supposed to help you, but ain't in the MOU for you to know. Only the representative know. How come? How come? Because this book is for me, for all of us. It's to pertain to us, to help us, and we should know all the things that is going to affect us, whether that's negative or positive. We should know. That's what I have to say about that. And you guys, it is so important to go out here and talk to people so we can get him back in office. So negotiation is just around the corner. And if we don't, it's all going to go downhill. And if you don't care, it'll show because he won't be in office. I'm begging you guys to just get out there and do what you got to do, talk to people. Our MOU is not helping us. This MOU we have, it's not helping us. I've read some of it, but a lot of different things in there that the language should be changed. Okay? That's all I got to say about that.
So, Yolanda, thank you for calling in. So we're going to go past 707 because Yolanda brings up this very critical point. I talked about concussion protocol tonight, racism and politics. But Yolanda brings up a point about the new contract. You know what? Let's go there for a second. Because I'm writing. She says reinstatement rights. You go to a new job, they reject you on probation. You have reinstatement rights to go back to your original job. Why does it not say that in our contract? It should. It's in the government code. I don't have the government code memorized, but it should. Here's where it gets tricky. What if you go to your new job, you don't like it, and you want to go back to your old job? You don't have reinstatement rights because you didn't get rejected. So you'd have to reapply to go back to your old job. You say, well, I don't want to have to reapply. I just want to go back because I think on my new job, they're going to fail me on probation, and I don't want to be part of my employment record, my personnel file. Hold on. It says incorrect, you can step back down. No. You can step back down, but that doesn't mean that your old job is going to bring you back unless they reject you first. See, this is the confusion. It should say that in our contract. Because if people have questions, they should be able to go to the contract. They shouldn't have to always go to the government code to look that up. Because who is the government code really for? The government code is for HR. So Yolanda brings up a very valid point. How do I know this? Because I am the only job steward at the state treasurer's office, and I had a person go through that. Thank you very much for that acknowledgement. I had a person go through this years ago. I didn't know because it wasn't in the contract. That's how I know. So when people say, well, he doesn't know anything, he's never fought for people on his job. See, I don't tell you all the things I've done for people at the treasurer's office or for other people. I just don't talk about it. I keep a lot of stuff to myself. Because I talk about those heavy hitting issues. But let's go to something more important than what she said. No more secrecy in the contract. She's absolutely right. Remember I just told you earlier, when I do a contract, all jobs are guaranteed, period. If you can't guarantee those jobs, listen to how I say this at 7:11 p.m. tonight on October 26, 2022. If you can't guarantee these jobs for the period of this contract, then why the hell are we putting in a no strike clause? You put a no strike clause in when you're guaranteeing the jobs and the money, the wages, and the working conditions for the period of this contract. Then you put in a no strike clause. But if you can't guarantee my job, then why am I guaranteeing you my employment? They say, well, they can put you in the SROA list. No, I don't really put on no list because you took my job. I'm in a union. My job should be protected. In the private world, the private labor industry, it's like that. But public sector is a little trickier, and they try to be slick. Let's go to something else. As long as I'm negotiating your contract as your president with my full powers, that telework agreement, $100 for everyone equally, that will be in the next contract. Not this bogus stuff you're going through right now, 50 and 25, but after taxes, you got enough to buy a bag of peanuts at a movie theater. That's ridiculous. That's stupidity. And the membership said, do not accept that, and they did it anyway. Let's go to something else here. No more overtime for LVNs and RNs in the prisons. If you want to have a family, raise your children, stop the mandatory overtime. With me as your chief negotiator, that will end. If you want to chase that money to put your kids through college or whatever, then that is your option to work overtime. But no more mandatory overtime at all. Period. Any words such as, we shall endeavor, that's crap. Any word that's subjective like that, get it out of your contract. Because what happens is the state carries all the power with those types of words. Remember, 5.11, dignity clause. Right now, it stops at Cal HR, step 3. With me as your chief negotiator, we'll be able to take it all the way to arbitration. It's very ironic how the last video I did from the building on the Wednesday night was talking about grievances and how we had to readjust how we look at grievances. Because Local 1000 says, well, we can't win your grievance, we're not going to fight for you. But you've been giving Local 1000 all your money month after month, year after year. And then you have a problem on the job. They say, well, we can't win this, you're just out of luck. Then why am I paying you my money for? This is what Yolanda has told me, and she wasn't wrong. I said it in my 2018 campaign. And I said the same things over and over and over and over and over and over again. But yet, they want to tell you that I'm the one that's at fault. I'm the one that's a liar. I'm the one that's making false accusations. Who do you really believe? Do you believe them or do you believe me? Do you believe the people who will give up your money while under a signed contract? Do you remember? I was the only outspoken critic of the PLP in, was it the May time frame in 2020? In fact, I drove to Lansing County for a rally on a Saturday in 2020. I said, do not do this. You don't give up money while you're under a signed contract. Are you stupid? I don't care if there is a COVID, a pandemic, a financial disaster. Then the state legislature give up their money. No. Then why the hell are you giving up your money for? Are you stupid? Are you stupid? You must be some type of new stupid.
Richard, I want to also let them know that they also have to understand that they have mandatory reinstatement rights if they're permanent. And so if their last job, they were permanent and passed their probation.
Correct.
They have that right to go back. But understanding if you reject the job that you went to, what they're calling like a soft rejection, but nevertheless, it's the same process. You still go through the rejection process. They give you a form and all this other stuff. But I just want them to know that they have to, know their status from their last job. And
that's correct.
Now I'm understanding that they are trying to say your last job has to agree.
That's correct. So
they have to agree. They have to agree to you coming back.
Again.
Because remember, they say understand that you haven't ended your whole probation. So you decided you wasn't going to you just didn't want this job no more, or whatever the case. So you rejected it. And that's fine. You have that right to do that. But understand, they, also saying, okay, well, you rejected it, and we have the right to come back. So, you have to understand that. And even you have mandatory rights. You have to understand your position if you're, permanent and stuff like that.
Listen, everyone on Facebook, because she wanted to come back and say that again. Until you have permanent status with the state of California, from the very first job you started, you don't have reinstatement rights. Once you have permanent status on your first job with the state of California and you go to a new job and that new job doesn't work and they reject you, then you have reinstatement rights back to your permanent position from the original job you came from. Now, if you come work for the state of California in your new job, you don't finish probation, and you jump to another job, and you never finished your probation on your very first job with the state of California, you don't have reinstatement rights. Here's the other thing. Once you have permanent status on your job, and you try to go to a new job, you don't like it, but they don't reject you. You say, I just want to go back to my old job because I think you guys are doing me wrong. You don't have reinstatement rights because you are rejecting the job, not the new agency. So therefore, you have to apply to go back to your old job, and your old job has to agree. They may say, we don't want that person back. And so then on your new job, you will stay there. And if they reject you, then you can go back to your old job. They have no decision in the matter. They have to take you back because you had permanent status at your original job.
No, Richard, that's not true. It's the part that you was talking about. If you reject it, you still got permanent rights. You can reject and go back because you're permanent.
Hold on, wait a minute. No, because you're rejecting it. That reinstatement rights is for a person who was rejected at the new job. If I am wrong on this, then show it to me in the government code, because maybe I'm wrong. But the point that you're really making, I'm glad you're bringing this up, Yolanda. And maybe I'll look up the government code for the next meeting next Wednesday night. I know what happened with the person I was dealing with. that new agency has to reject you. You just can't go back to your old agency because they won't take you back sometimes. And they'll get away with not taking you back because you wasn't rejected. That's how I know that. And by you saying that should be in the contract because that's very critical, that's very eye-opening. Yolanda, you are 1,000% correct. It is very eye-opening. And when a person can read it for themselves versus trying to run to the union, trying to get help from the union if they call you back in a timely manner, versus you trying to get information from HR, and HR is on the side of management, not yours. It should be in the contract. Because, Yolanda, I swear to you, I felt the same way you did. Why is this important information not in our contract? This is very critical information. But this is just one issue. I'm sure more people could call in, Yolanda, and tell us other issues that should be in that contract that HR knows about that they don't want to tell us because knowledge is power. And once you have all this knowledge, now you can make informed decisions on what you want to do, Yolanda.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to tell the members and exactly about that, and read up on it, do some Google, do whatever you have to do, because certain things are not in our contract. That's the most important thing I want to tell people. Some of this stuff is not in our contract, and most people don't know how to go to the CC codes and the civil procedures and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, just do your research.
And the reason, and here's, then I'll go to the hand raise for JP. The reason why they don't put it in the contract is they say, well, it's in government code, so we don't need to. But you still should have certain things in that contract because it would help people research information much faster than having to run to the government code. All right. So I see a hand raised. JP, go ahead, JP.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm just going to say dittos to you and Yolanda. You guys are on point for everything. And that's one of the reasons why we need way more stewards at every single job site. Because a steward who has done the work like Yolanda and some others can help you find information and help you to know where to look for some of this information. And because when I first came to the state and read our prior contract, I was amazed by how there's so much holes in our contract. It doesn't speak on so much that's what's happening at the job. And I'm out at DMV headquarters. And I was just confused by that. So Yolanda, you're right. We just need a lot more help and a lot more stewards, and they keep picking out all of the stewards who are wanting to help other stewards. Knowledge is power. When you learn and get the information for yourself, you can then help somebody else to learn and get the information for themselves. And the more that is passed through the membership will then understand that they have the power to stop taking all this BS. Why you would give up your guaranteed health retirement with the state and start paying it. I don't know who the people were who did that. And I couldn't figure out where my money was going, but I knew that benefit was guaranteed. I was so confused, but I could find nobody who would help me, not even the union, and tell me what that was for and why. So they're really hurting all of us. They're just about working us like a slave. Because at the end of the day, when you get your paycheck, you just about got to write a check back to the state or back to the union or somebody else. You're almost in the hole. So, and I hope people heard Mr. Brown when he said earlier, President Brown, when he was talking about I'm going to get the acronyms wrong.
CCPOA.
Thank you. And that those people said, oh no, we're not taking that. And he made the governor of the state of California back the hell up. Excuse me for that. Back up. So think about that. We could do the same. Stop believing the union when they say, oh, well, we just have to take what they offer us. I'm still waiting for them to tell me what they are going to take or not take for us. I appreciate the email Mr. Brown sent out to everybody because it explains what he wants to do. I've not heard that from the other side. And listen, I'm going to say right here on this, if I heard something from the other side that made me go, hey, they're talking like they going to do some stuff, I would have been with them and not with Mr. Brown. But Mr. Brown was talking about stuff that I was concerned about and that I had issues with. He was speaking on things that was affecting my life, my pocket. And so that's it. I'm done, you guys. So thank you. And yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with people.
Thank you for calling in. Hopefully everyone on Facebook heard what that person just said. You know, when I talk about the 21% pay increase across the board for everybody, along with COLA and GO pay, you know what's the one phrase when I was campaigning that I didn't say right behind that? I'll say it tonight at 7:25 on October 26th, 2022. A 21% pay increase across the board for everyone equally, along with GO pay and COLA, with no offsetting reductions. So you can get a huge pay increase, but if they jack up the OPEB, which is at 3.5% right now, retiree healthcare, pre-funding retiree healthcare. Now remember, put on my 10-point platform, eliminate that 3.5% OPEB. No other leader has ever told you that. Listen, I'm the only leader that tells you this stuff. Why don't other people say this, who are, quote, statewide leaders, DLC presidents? I said eliminate the OPEB. That retiree, pre-funding the retiree health care, as the person who just called in said, that's a guaranteed right for us to have health care once we reach 20 years. But a couple years ago, they changed it for those who got hired a few years ago to where it's only 80-20 now. Well, who agreed to that? So people say, stop talking about the former president. But when you talk about a person who ran the union for 13 straight years, you're going to talk about that person because of all the decisions that person and that board made that has, quote, been horrendous. You're going to talk about that person. You just can't forget after 13 years, hey, you know, there's no afterthought. In other words, you're going to be suffering a concussion from 13 years of that person's leadership. A concussion. You're in a concussion protocol. They should have never agreed to that. I fought against that. Did Annika and David and these other so-called leaders fight against that? They did not. This is so simple. You have a person that's for you, and then you have all these other people who are against you. That's it. It's not complicated. They tell you they're for transparency. Did they show you how they're voting for all that stuff? Are they going to put up their voting ballot for you to take a look at, for you to criticize? They will not. Have they shown you their credit card statement since the time they, quote, try to remove me from office? They will not, and they never will. All right, so we're going to end here. 2018 ratification vote releases a video only reported the percentage. That is correct. This is not complicated, everyone. Some people say don't talk about race, okay? Some people say don't talk about the money. It's always about the money. Some folks say, well, we have to be involved in politics. You show me where politics is paid off for you for Local 1000. If politics was that important, you would have lost your money while under a signed contract. Not with Schwarzenegger or with Brown or with Gavin Newsom. It doesn't matter. What matters is your strike. Your ability to go on strike, your money in that strike fund. We can shut this state down. Someone said, Richard, stop saying that. You're scaring people. Well, damn, I'm black. That scares you. I talk about getting you money. That scares you. I talk about fighting for your children, help pay for their college education. That scares you. I talk about fighting your boss, dignity in the workplace. That scares you. Everything I say scares you. Just my mere presence scares you. Everything I do scares you. If I show up at your house tomorrow, I'm scared. I can have $1 million in a bag and walk up to you, you'd be scared. Oh my God. Oh my God. What am I going to do? Should I call my boss? Should I call my union? If I got $1 million in my bag and I walk up to you, you should take a look around and say, Richard, let's chat. I hope it's legal. God, I'm praying that that's legal money you have in that bag. But some of you have such a severe case of a concussion, you can't even think straight. These people tell you I was spending money inappropriately, and I'm showing you all the credit card charges. Did I go to Israel? No. Did I go to Napa for $1,800? No. Did I go to Disneyland for $4,500? No. But yet, when I tell you everything these people were doing, you look at me like I'm the crazy person. I'm not Kanye. I'm Richard Lewis Brown. I'm a June Gemini, by the way. He's a June Gemini as well. But I am not Kanye. I am not the one lying to you, causing you problems. I'm trying to get you paid money. I see everyone. Okay, have a nice night. But that's what I'm trying to do. You say run for office. Okay, I did that. Run again. I did that. Run a third time. I did that. Oh wait, did you spend over $30,000 on framed artwork that is not hanging? No, I didn't spend no. Please, I didn't spend no money in the union. I didn't take a salary stipend. All the spending that I did, everybody knew about. I hope everyone that you got to talk to your coworkers. If you're getting emails, here's what I do know. I got elected through CDCR. If all those folks in CDCR, if you've got an email from me, if you haven't forwarded that email to everyone in CDCR, you can send it to management. Oh, I don't care. I have nothing to hide. Because remember, when we get paid, they get paid. I keep trying to tell you this. I'm the only person that tells you this in this union. Management wants you to get me back into power. They want you to make sure I have my presidential powers. They want you to make sure I'm your chief negotiator. Because when we get paid, they can sit back and say, "Oh, thank God. Now they can get paid." And continue to work. Some of them work, some of them don't. But they'll get paid for free. They want me back in office. Trust me. They don't want Billy Hall or any of these other so-called individuals leading the contract negotiations. And you say, well, if you make you make the contract strong where they can't work you overtime, won't management get mad? No, they don't care. They're still getting their money. You think management cares that much about their job? The only thing they care about is the same thing you care about. Their money and their family. And they'll do anything and everything to keep that going. Whether you work 10 hours or 8 hours, they don't care. As long as management is getting their money, so what? You think management cares about government codes being broken by these lobbyists? They don't care as long as they get their money. They're Americans. You think these people got some type of ethics? Their ethics is tied to that money. They want you to fight and get the money. In fact, if you fight and get the money and carry yourself with some respect and dignity, they'll respect you more. Right now, they just run over you and talk to you any kind of way. They laugh at you. You say, well, I'm going to call my union. Call your damn union. That's what they tell you. Call them. Richard's not in power. We don't have to worry about him. If he was in power, then we have a problem because he's kind of crazy. He'll fight us. Well, that's what a labor leader does. Fights for his or her people. You say you're going to call the union now, they look at you and laugh. Oh, well. They'll keep abusing you and doing what they want to do and writing you up. You call the union for help. And so for every one bad manager that gets written up, they move him to another job. They don't fire him or her from the state. They just move them to another job. Sometimes give a promotion. For every 1 out of 100, the other 99 are laughing at us. And I can't blame them. Because we have an ineffective union because our union looks at the state as being our boss. Well, how are you going to do a partnership with your boss? Last time, maybe that's why. It's funny. Back in the old days, men could boss women around. I'm your husband, you'll do everything I tell you to do. And women couldn't go out in the workplace, so they were limited. Last time I checked, you can't tell a woman nothing in today's society. You better create a partnership with her, or she won't be your partner. You ain't telling her anything. You'll sit down, you'll have a conversation, and then she'll put her 50% in, and the kids. And then you'll put your 50% in, with no kids. And then you'll figure out, you and her will work together and come up with a mutual solution, or you won't have a marriage or a relationship. If I'm wrong, ladies, if you let your man boss you around, then text me at 408-207-2339 so I can have a record of it. Nobody in this union talks to you the way I do, but they try to portray me as being the crazy person. They try to portray me as being crazy and confrontational because I'm fighting for you. I'm going to end on this. I'm going to end at 7:37. I didn't get into this situation with Local 1000 for recognition. I'm not looking for a payday. But I will say this to you. Local 1000, you have run off a lot of job stewards. You've destroyed a lot of people. You're trying to destroy me. I respect that. You're going to destroy yourself in the process of trying to destroy me. All your racism, all your backroom dealing, it's all going to come out. And you say, well, you know, you can't tell everything, Richard, because if you do, we'll sue you. You already got me in court. Who cares? Yeah, take me back to court in downtown Sacramento. Billy, or Bill, whatever name they're going by, take me back to court. Because what you're doing is wrong. Those people didn't vote for you. You said, well, the board voted me in. No. You have substantially changed the structure of this 501c5. Now, if you've got that judge on the hook, okay. People appeal decisions. You said, well, you ain't got no lawyer, Richard. You can't find a lawyer. You're right, I can't find one. But I'm still here fighting. I am still here fighting to the best of my ability. And when I go back to that Sacramento Superior Court, I'll make sure everyone brings their cameras in. Because I'm going to make sure I'm going to have that judge says, put it all on camera. Because everything I say, I want the whole world to see. Because I told you I was a transparent one, and I'm not lying about anything. I meant that. All right, tonight is October 26, 2022. I am Richard Lewis Brown. This was a short night tonight. We started Zoom at 6:30. We're stopping at 7:37. I started on Facebook at 6:01. Listen, it's been a pleasure, and I will see you next week. Contact me, 408-207-2339. It's been a true pleasure. Have a good night.